If you are like me and constantly have to apply and unapply filters, this video is for you. Right, so in our Excel file, let me zoom in a bit. I'm going to apply a filter on units that is greater than 80. And in column J, I would like to add some value, so I would like to say greater than 80. I added this information for my later analysis. Keep in mind that this macro you've seen that fill the values to all the visible rows till the end. I will add a link to this macro in the description. Alright, so if I want to use the filter on column J, I would have to clear all the filters. So I do Alt A C to clear the filters. Then I would have to unapply the filter. And if I reapply filter using Ctrl Shift L, you can see it only applies filter till the data that is continuous. So it does not apply filters when there is a gap in data. So for example, if I want to include this data here, I would have to select this manually, go to N and then do a Ctrl Shift L to apply the filter. And now you can see we have filter applied till this column, and now I can use this column to filter out values and what I want to do. So let's say I want to review some of these, I can add this information here, so on and so forth. So many steps, right, for one simple thing. Stick with me so we can review the VBA method to do this, and then we will review the code for it as well. Alright, so let me show you how the VBA way is done. I'm gonna do Ctrl Shift L to remove the filter, and I would apply the filter again. So let's say I want to select desk. So let's say now I want to extend the filter area to include these columns as well. So I'm just gonna go to the VBA screen and let me show you this side by side. So as soon as I run the code, you can see we have the filter extended till this column here. So you can see we have all of the data covered in one go instead of having to do these manual 3-4 steps. Keep in mind that this assumes that you have autofilter mode on. So for example, if the data is like this, then this code will not work. I'm working on another video with detailed explanation on different filtering techniques and how to see if the filter is on, if the filter is applied, or if it's applied but not in use. So let me apply the filter again. Right, so let's jump to VBA, and I'm going to remove the code and write it again so I can explain it to you. Right, so I have the start and end of the code. Let me zoom in a bit. So I'm gonna say options, and in the font size, let me increase the font. So 15 seems good. Okay, let me do this side by side so this will be easy for you. So let's go. Okay, so the first thing we need to figure out is how can we turn off the autofilter. So let me apply the autofilter here again, and the first thing we will do is we will unapply the autofilter. So for that we will say active sheet dot autofilter mode equals false. So let me run through the code, and you will see that as soon as I run through this line, this filter should be removed from here. Let me color this a bit so I think it will be easier for the filter to be seen. So let me do some filtering here, and now you can see the filter is clearly visible. So I'm going to step through the code. I'm going to do F8 one by one, and you see as soon as it's stepped over this line of code, you don't have the autofilter applied anymore. Great, means that we know how to turn off the autofilter mode. So let me apply it again. So the next thing we need to do is, once we have the autofilter mode off, we need to figure out a way how we can apply the autofilter on a new range. For that, we will use active sheet dot range, and here we will give the range for it. So for example, this is A1 to B2. I'm just adding dummy data here for your understanding, and then we'll say autofilter, and that's it. This will add the filter on just A1 through B2. So let's test it again just to see if this works, and you can see you have the filter only on A1 through B2. Now we need to figure out a way how we can extend this to the extra columns that we need to add. So for that, we will declare a new variable. We will say dim lc as integer. Lc will be our last column. So to detect what the last column is, we will come from bottom right to the left. So we will say range xfd1 dot end xl to left, and then we'll save the column, and we will save this inside of lc variable. So let's put this equals to lc equals this, and now you have the last column as this in this variable. Now since we need to expand our range, so we will simply add 5 in it. So for example, if the last column is this and we want to include 5 extra columns for our filter area, we can simply do +5 Let's just do an F8 to step through the code and see if this is picking up correctly. And you can see LC is 13. The initial value should have been 8 because we have 8 columns and we have 5 more, so this is 13 in total, which means it has picked up correctly. Now we just need to modify this to the format that VB can accept. So we'll say A1 through LC, which is our last column, and we will say and 1. This basically converts it into format like, for example, this will be similar to A1 through, this is what column is this, so the fifth column should be L, and then we have 13. So this basically converts it into this format, and you can see. So let's run our code. So let me apply the filter. As soon as we ran it, we have the filter applied till here, which is the fifth column. Right, that's it for this video. I hope this fun little project was helpful to you, and it will make your life a bit easier if you work a lot on Excel and do multiple analysis. Till next time, happy coding.